Voila! Hello everyone, welcome back to my session. My name is Miles, for those of you who do not know. This is Jackson's Lane Circus, and we are going to be doing loads of crazy things today. We're going to be doing a warm-up. We're going to be using this mat. However, we do not need to use this mat. This is just precaution. If you're doing exercise and you have a slippy floor, it's great to have a little bit of friction underneath your feet. For today's session, we are going to be doing a little bit of hats after our warm-up. We're going to be doing a little bit of juggling, and we're going to explore a range of motion using some of the things that we did from last week's video, which was levels, and we're also going to be exploring tempo. So you only need one ball. If you'd like to use two balls, you will please get two balls. If you do not have juggling balls, a pair of smelly socks will work just fine. Just roll them up and let's see how it goes. So let's start off with a little warm-up before I start wibbling on and blibbling on. Let's go. So I would really love you to join in with me. And if you have anything dangerous around you that you could not, please move it now. Say this, I'm going to be moving it. I'm going to place my mat on the floor. However, if you don't have a mat, you do not necessarily need it. If you have a blanket, please go ahead and use that. Here we are, standing up. Now, for this warm-up, we're just going to start with rocking back and forth on our feet. I'm going up on my heels, and I'm lifting my toes to the front when I go back. You can probably hear my mat making these noises. We're going to rise up onto our toes as tall as you can. Don't let your ankles sink out. Really squeeze your glutes and lift up with your calf muscles. Nice and tall, nice and tall. Lift your hands up high, as high as it can go. Really stretch out and release down. Release your hands down and bend your knees all the way to the floor. Bending your knees, touching the floor. Coming up. And we're going to look up and down and up. And down, up, and down. Next time we look down, I want you to breathe in deep, breathing in, and breathing out. We're going to roll down. We're going to have straight legs for now. Just hang where you feel comfy. If you can get lower, feel free to get lower. Don't force anything. Just relax, hold your elbows, and just breathe in. We're going to breathe in 3 times. You ready? 1, breathing in. And breathing out, breathing in, and breathing out. Last time, breathing in, and breathing out. Bend your knees and stack your bone and your spines on top of each other. Chin comes up last, look up to the ceiling, and shake it out, shake it out. So we're just going to rotate our neck in little circles round. You may notice that when I rotate my neck, the light tends to turn on and off on the screen, although it's not doing that now. So in these sessions, I like to be a little bit silly. So once we've done the neck rolls, and you feel that you've really gotten a little bit of looseness there, a little bit of flexibility and warmed up the neck, we're just going to shake our body. We're just going to shake. We're just going to shake. Legs like crazy. We're just going to go crazy. Arms are going to go out. If you've got things, please don't knock them. Yeah, shake your legs out. Lovely. Everyone, you can do it with me if you want. Breathing in. And let it all go out through your lips. Perfection. Oh, you did it again. No, I didn't do it. There we go. The light changes. So, what we're going to start with, we're going to do a little bit of stretching. So the thing that we're going to start with, we're going to put our legs wide, like this. And we're going to do another little bend, but this time to the side. Our hand is going to go up. You can choose what side you like to do. Reach to the side. I've got a nice door here, so I'm going to stop there. If you can go lower, you can go lower. And then once you do, I'm going to release down to my toes. Don't have to touch your toes, but try. And then we're going to sink through to the middle, going all the way over to our other foot, which we haven't been to. Hold there for a second, And then we're going to reach up sideways and stretch on the side here. Then coming all the way up into a nice star. Well done. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to come down to the floor and do just a little lunge. So this is where your foot goes back and your foot goes forwards. What I want you to make sure is that you've got a nice sort of right angle. And when I say right angle, I mean you want to be making a box or an L shape with your knee in line with your toes. So put your hands on there. Hold 5 seconds. Ready? Hands off. 1, 2, 3. No cheating. 4, 5, and coming up. Lovely. We're going to do it on the other foot. So I'm going diagonal so you can see a bit more. So I'm coming down. You want your straight leg at the back. Make sure you've got your knees just so you can see your toes. A nice right angle. Taking hands off for 5 seconds. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Coming up. Shake those legs off. I like to do a nice little horse trot here when I do that. Perfection. We're going to warm up by pulling our foot up, taking the heel, pushing our hips forwards, and don't let your legs sort of pop out sideways. And keep it into your foot. There, nice and tall. And just kind of push your heel towards your lower back, your glutes. We're going to hold that. And if you want a challenge, we're going to release our leg. If not, you can just release it to the floor. Lift the knee up. Keep that balance that we've been working on. And you're going to see if you can lower down just a little bit. If you need something to hold on to, take something to hold on to. Lower down like so. And come back up. Perfect. Release the leg down. I'm going to do it on the other side. So I'm moving to the side so you can see. Lift the knee up. Take the ankle. Keep everything in line, stacked up, and then push your hips forward if you want that extra stretch. Feel free to flex your foot or point. I prefer point. Holding that for a second, and then when you're ready, we're going to release the foot, pull the knee up, and then we're going to try and do a little squat here as well. So hands out, or if you want to hold on to something, feel free to do so. If you're working with an injury, be mindful of that, and don't do anything that's going to push you too far that you're not ready for yet. I just did 2 there. You only need to do 1 right now. All right. Release those knees out. Relax it out. Perfection. We're going to do a little stretch. Now, this one, we're going to utilize a wall. If you have if your walls are like sparkling, they just had like this new paint on, then maybe find something else to put your hands on. I have a story where I was a kid and I had played in the mud and my house had just been painted and I thought it was a great idea to play. The floor is made of lava and I thought I should just do this with mud all over my hands. So I absolutely destroyed it. But my walls are not shiny, so I'm going to put my hands on the walls. And you want to just push your shoulders down. Don't let your arms roll out. Pull them in. So rather than being out like so, suck them in so the shoulder distance apart. And just breathe in that position there. You can go lower if you want more of a stretch, or if you just need a gentle one, a bit higher. And breathe for 5 seconds. Ready? 1. Perfection. Yes. Okay. So this is all we're going to be doing for our warm-up. We're going to do a few stretches. So we're going to go into a form of back bend. For this, I just want you to rotate your hips around as if you're doing a hula hoop. I'm pretending I've got a giant hula hoop, because usually if I'm hula hooping, I'm just doing this. Kind of look like I'm doing a bit of a party. Hula hoop around, go back the other way. little look. And then to warm up our back, we're just going to look back, just a few gentle bends with your hands on your hips there. Cool. Now, this move we're going to be doing, if it's too much for you, just go to where you're comfortable with. I'm a shuttle back. Perfection. So, I'm on my knees. I like to take my knees nice and wide so that I don't push my back too hard when it's not ready for it yet. So, we're sitting on our knees. If this is uncomfortable, feel free to put a pillow underneath. If it's a really thick pillow, maybe try and find something a bit thinner. We're going to just start off with a few warm-up bends. So you're going to lift one hand up, your choice, and just a little back bend there. And come back. Same with the other hand, lifting it up, little back bend there. And come up. So nice and gentle for now. And then this time, as you bring the first hand up again, you're going to rotate it around, place it onto your heels, and try and, rather than be twisted here, because that's going to pinch you a little, you're going to push your hips forward, chest out, look back, and lean back a little bit onto that hand. Yeah? Coming up, for now, we're going to come up by pushing our hips in, like so. If you're more advanced and you want to come up by pushing your chest forward and up like that, please do feel free to go for it. Second hand coming back onto the heel, and now level yourself out. Feel free to do anything with this upper hand, and push your hips forward, your chest up, and really try and get a nice arch there. Coming up, I'm going to push my hips in gently and come back up to kneeling. Now, if you're ready, we're going to go into the full bend with both arms. And don't worry if your back's feeling a little bit sore. It's probably just not used to being in this position yet. So we're going to do a little bit of TLC after this move. So look after our backs. So hands are going to go up. For now, I'm going to say one hand at a time. However, if you're more advanced, feel free to do two hands. So one hand comes up. It's going to go back. Second hand comes up once you place the first hand. And then place the second hand onto the first. At the moment, I've got this weird sort of thing because my head's there. But as you can see, I'm pushing my hips forward. Hips forward, head goes back. And really, really, really trying to push forward out of that. Don't forget to breathe. To come in, I'm going to say release one hand. Push your hips in, slowly, slowly, slowly. Look up, see what you're doing. And come back, sitting on here. There's a lot of different ways to do this in terms of what works for you and your body. I'm trying to show you a way that can help you starting off with this move. Whereas there's other ways to come out of it to really look after your spine and build that muscle and strength that you need. So, we're probably feeling a little bit sore in our backs right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to sit onto our toes on the floor. We're going to bring our hands forward, and this is called a child pose. This is extended child pose. How can I be so you can see me? Here, here, here. There we go. Hands come down. I may disappear off the screen. And you're going to really pull your hands forward while pulling your hips back. And try and drop your head down to the floor. Now, if you find it uncomfortable sitting on your toes, feel free to sit up more by tucking your toes underneath like this. We're just going to stretch there. You should feel a little bit of a stretch and a relief on your lower back, as well as a stretch in your shoulders. You might also get it in your hip flexors, which are the bits right here. Okay. Next, what we're going to do, we're going to hold this for 10 seconds. It's child's pose, and it's relaxed down. So No more stretching of the arms. They're going to go head down onto the floor, onto your knees. Arms are going to go behind you and rest on the floor. And feel free to smell the floor. I've just noticed how dusty my floor is. Oh dear, oh dear. Okay, ready? Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. One more time, breathing in. And breathing in. Coming up. If you would like to spend a little more time in this position, please feel free to do that. Alternatively, if you want to do a bit more TLC for your back, just start off with some cat-cows, which is you're going to be on your hands and knees, which is tabletop position. I'm going to try and be this way, but I'm kind of the length of my hallway. Hands underneath your shoulders and legs underneath your hips. So you're going to be breathing, bending your back down as you look up, and then as you look down, you're going to curve your back up to the ceiling. And you breathe in as you look up, and you breathe out as you look down. Yeah, and then you've got party cat. Party cat, party cat, party cat. Yeah, do some of those if you want to give a little bit more TLC to your back. Everybody's different. Everyone has different things that works for them. So that's kind of what we're doing today for the warm-up. And I'd like to get started on some of the circus tricks. Are you ready? Yes, you are. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Okay, bringing out the hat. We're going to start with the hat tricks today. Woo! We're going to start with some cool little funky things. We're going to work on some elbow throws. So I'm going to stand back over here. Once again, remember, if you've got any lights at the top and you're throwing things in the air, please do not throw them into the lights. It is not good. So find a space that doesn't have anything hanging. For me, this will be here. With elbow throws, there's a lot of different things you can do. It's the same as sort of throwing with your hand and catching again, or throwing it onto your head. Apart from we're using our elbow, so it's a little more tricky. So I'm going to start by putting it on my elbow. My elbow is bent in, as if I'm about to do this move. I need music for this. It goes on your arm. As you can see, I don't have it down, because otherwise it's just going to slide off. And you can have it sort of neutral or a bit higher. Let's keep it a bit higher, because then that way it gives me time to go down a little to throw it up. Feel free to bend your knees, but you do not need to. However, it does give you that little extra oomph when you throw in the air. So I'm going to show you, and then you may try. Down, up, catch. Yeah? It could even go down, up, and just watch it fall to the floor. On the other side, you may try with me as well. Down, up, fall to the floor. Yeah, have a few goes doing this. So pause the video now. Just have a little practice with trying to get it off your elbow and into the air. Depending on what hat you have, it might get higher, it might go lower. You might find that your hat's quite floppy and it's just sort of going ugh, like that, which means that bending your legs will give you that extra power to get it up. Yes, also do a few arm rotations beforehand if you just want to get that extra bit of heat and blood flowing through your elbows and your shoulders. Yeah, so things like this, woo, like you're partying, things like rotating the shoulders back, forwards, like we've done in our previous videos. Are you ready? Let's go. So this time I want you to play about with where the hat's going to end up. So rather than on the floor, you can catch in your hand. Rather than in your hand, you can do other things, say like onto your head, which is a little bit trickier, but when you get it, it feels great. So it goes up, boom. So when I taught you how to throw it on your head, I said Spread your fingers out wide, throw it up once, straight arm as much as possible. And when you see this bit, which is the inside of the hat, you keep looking, and when it gets close enough, you're going to look down, so it's got a nice area to land on. Same as with the elbow, apart from, you're probably going to be looking sideways a bit more. So when it goes up, look, and then head down. Yeah? 3, 2, 1, look, head down. Another alternative. So actually, if you want to try that, pause the video now. You pause the video, right? Perfection. Let's go. So another one is where you can, I'm going to come down here so you can see me. From one side to the other side. I usually use my knees for this, so let's see how we go on the floor. I might have to bend my legs. Maybe I'll have to squat. Okay. You do not need to squat. This is just me getting it into the video. Are we ready? Boom. Voila! Whew. And that's a nice little ad if you want to perform this move. Really build up the expense. It goes over, it lands, and you go, whew. Dear. Another thing that we can do is to get it to land on our foot. So practice this move that I've just shown you now, and then come back to the video and have a look at the foot trick. Moving to the foot trick. Voila. Here. On your elbow, you're going to throw it up. This time, you're not going to lift your foot up to it. You're just going to leave your foot low to the floor, but flexed. Yeah? So mine's almost resting on the floor. It's just hovering slightly. Depending on what your throw is like, you may want to lift it up, but that just kind of comes with a bit more practice. When you get used to the rotations, you know what it looks like and how fast it moves. All these tricks become a lot more simpler. So it's just practice. Everything with circus is sort of having fun, enjoying it, learning something new, getting creative, and sort of repeating things over and over again, even if you change them slightly, to get it in your head. So here we go. I'm going to flip it up, whoop, foot out, and onto the floor. Now I brought my knee up a little so that I could follow the hat down. Feel free to do that. So my throw was quicker that time, so I had to bring my knee up higher. If I can do a slow one, I can drop it on the floor. Yeah. So that's sort of some of the hat tricks with the elbow. There's also ones where you just sort of take it off, like so, by bending your arm, opening it out, and then you've kind of got this sort of position where you could shoot it forwards and catch it. I didn't catch it. Okay. Shoot it forward and catch it. I'll show you right now. It's on the elbow. I'm going to have to stand this way. On the elbow, you open it out, shoot it forwards, catch. Yeah? Wow. There's so many movements that you can do with this. And it kind of goes back to what we were talking about creativity and last week on the video. Talking about creativity, I'm going to take you on to our next piece. So if you want to keep working on hats, pause the video now and keep going with that flow. The next part is, can you guess? Juggling balls. Not in last week's video, but the one before last, we were working on doing some cat claws where we threw it up, caught it, and we would drop it down again. Or like so. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, and reverse. Yeah. We also worked on letting go of the ball in the air like so, and just doing 2 cat claws like this. Boop, 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 boop. I would like to invite you to a sort of new trick with this. We're going to use one ball. So if you're ready, get one juggling ball, watch me first, and then we're going to practice. So, let's begin. Hand is going to be out flat like this. We're going to throw it up into the air. When it hits its peak point, and peak is when it gets to the top, like when you get to the top of a mountain, it's going to start falling. Before it starts falling, and hopefully we're not falling down a mountain, we're going to be walking down a mountain. But the ball is going to go up. We're going to catch it just as it starts falling, or just before it starts falling. Gripping it in your hand like this, and then bring it across, dropping it down and catching in the other hand. You feel free to do whatever you want with your hand after that. So, like so, boom, 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 boom. You can reverse that as well. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I like to bring my hand back to this position. This is a little bit of a robotic movement. It's also known in the juggling world as like a machine when you add more juggling balls. It kind of creates that movement of a machine moving, I assume. What I would like us to do is pause the video, practice this, both hands, one way, then the other. Up, so flat hands, up, catch, across, drop, catch. Up, catch, across, drop, catch. Yeah? Like boom, 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 boom. I don't know what I did there. So do that now, pause the video, have a go. Hopefully you practice that, because we're going to add more. So the next step of this is, which we also practiced, was doing 2 balls in one hand. Which means you're going to start off by throwing one up, like this. There's 2 balls in one hand. We won't go straight into this. We're going to start with the move we've already learned. So, ball in each hand. Hand is going to throw up, catch, pull it across, and as you drop it, you're going to let it drop first before throwing this up. So this is what it's going to look like. Boom, 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 boom. You do not need to catch this ball yet. Otherwise, it can get a bit overcomplicated for your brain if your mind hasn't worked out how this trick works. So just keep it simple, like this, up, catch, across. You're going to drop it and let the second ball just kind of do whatever it wants. Drop to the floor. I'm going to repeat this a few times. Do it with me if you want. Let's all get practicing together. Oh, I caught it. Throw, catch, across, drop. Throw, catch, across, drop. Throw, catch, across, drop. Yeah, the timing for this is kind of similar when you do 3-ball juggling as cascade. You throw the first, and as it falls, that's when you're going to be throwing the second. Because the rule for now is that we don't want to catch 2 balls. We want to throw it away. Same with this. Up, catch, across, drop, throw. Yeah, you can practice it just by doing this if you want. Hand here, drop, throw, drop, throw, drop, throw, drop, throw. Yeah, try that on both hands so that you can get it on the same side. Drop, throw, whoop. Drop, throw, drop, throw, drop, throw, drop, throw. Eventually, I'd love to get us doing this move. Ooh, why am I standing up? Ooh, here we go. Throw, catch, across, drop, catch. Boom. Throw, catch, a drop, cross, catch. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah? Pause the video, have a go. And don't worry about adding the second ball in if you're not ready to add it in yet. With juggling, there is this thing where you have to just repeat again and again, and then at some point, your mind switches off and your body just remembers. It's a part of movement memory, which is what I do with 3-ball juggling. So, now that we've had a go at that, I would like to finish this session with inviting you to think about changing and getting a bit creative, like in the last one. So, we have a few tricks that we've done over this so far. And I'd like you to start thinking again about how to explore creatively. Creatively. There we go. So in the last video, I did something where we had the hat here, ball on there, and I asked you to explore a little. I asked you to explore with what body parts you used and what levels you used. So elbow and hand came off, under elbow, into hat. And then I explored with levels by throwing my hand up and flipping the hat up here and letting it drop down. For today's session, we're going to look more into our tempo. So I'm going to take a step back with our tempo. So example, I showed you this move. We throw up, catch, across, down. This tempo is very bum, 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 bum. It's a little bit rhythmic, it's a little bit robotic, like a machine. I'd like you to think about how you can make this move, or another move that you've learned already, how you can make the tempo different, how you can change it. So rather than going bum, 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 can you go bum, bum, yeah? I mean, that was the same sort of tempo because I did with my hand, but up, catch, can you make it fluid? Down, up, across, and whoosh. I'm just getting all loosey-goosey now. Yeah, you can do it really fast and drop it on the floor. You could do it slow. You could do it slow up, slow across, fast down. Really explore with that. And if you want to explore with levels as well, have a think about how you can change your height. So for me, I would probably think, if this ball is going up and I'm catching it here, can I send my body down to work with different levels? So I throw it up and go down. And then to bring it across, I might even bring it diagonally, just straight into the hand. Yeah? Explore with this. Your challenge for today is to explore your levels again, to explore with a few different tricks that I've already taught you. It can be the one just today, it can be the one from another session that you like and you already feel very comfortable with. But yeah, levels and tempo. Really sort of try and change your perception of how something should be. You can make it work by just getting creative with it. Okay, I'm rambling on again. I do this always at the end of session. So we're just going to finish off with a really quick, just like this. Reach up to the sky, reach to the floor, to the sky, to the floor. Kick your legs out side to side. Perfect, and now forward and backwards, forward and backwards, forward and backwards. Which is actually a dance move. And swap legs will go their way. And rotate the shoulders. Find a bit of stillness as you rotate them. And forwards. And we're going to come down to the floor. Bend your knees, lift up and come back. Feel free to watch me first before joining into this bit. Obviously, if you've not got a lot of space, just keep yourself in. Rotating the neck again if it feels good. And then we're going to roll down to the floor, through our spine, all the way. Just hang there for a moment. Shake your head, yes and no. Breathing in, breathing out. Bend your knees. You can widen your legs out a bit if you want. And we're going to come to frog pose. chest up, hips down. And if you're struggling to get into this pose, don't you worry. You can be up higher. You can have your hands on your knees. Just really think about trying to sink down, get a bit of flexibility in this position. Some of you might need to lean forward for this, that's fine. Everyone has different things. If you have an injury anywhere within sort of your legs, feel free to put like a leg out if that works better for you, and a hand down just to get one bit of you moving. And I'm going to leave you with that today, everyone. Thank you for watching my video. Thank you for listening to me rambling on. And yeah, have a really great week. Don't forget your challenge. Work on the trick I taught you. Work on the hat tricks I taught you. Work on a little bit of your back flexibility, but don't do too much if you're not used to it yet. Really just go gentle with it. And the main challenge is to get creative. Try and change the tempo that you usually work at. Try and go a bit faster, a bit slower. You can even go on your fluidity. Yeah? Get loosey-goosey with it. Okay, I'm gonna go. Thank you, everybody. See you next time. Bye!